How's it going, everybody? David Hedge here, House Hedge Gaming, and GenCon 2024 is just a few short weeks away. So I figured what better time is to go over what I'm planning on doing while I'm at the best 4 days of gaming and the booths that I'll be frequenting while I'm there. So without any further ado, let's get started. All right, let's get to the itinerary for GenCon 2024 for myself, for my wife Cindy, and for our family that will be joining us for the best 4 days in gaming. So, Monday and Tuesday for Cindy and I, leaving from Roanoke, Virginia to go to Indiana. That'll be our travel days. I'll be getting everything ready by Sunday, which includes all of our luggage and all the stuff I got packed up to go to the consignment store because, in every gamer's life, sometimes you have to make that hard decision to cull out some games that are not in your rotation anymore. And that has come to pass over the past couple years. And now it's time to clear out room to make room for more acquisitions from Gen Con and possibly more playmats as long as my wife Cindy doesn't find out. If you see me at any of the playmat booths, and if she's not with me, don't tell her. I'll try and hide them some way, and then she'll find them later, and she'll be going like, "Dave, that's a lot of playmats." I'm like, "Well, I like them." But anyway, so got a bunch of stuff taken to the consignment store, but I'll be getting that packed up, and then Monday and Tuesday, Cindy and I will be traveling to Indiana. We're going to be going a little bit north of Indy because we're going to be picking up one of our family members, Hani. Hani, we met her, Cindy met her through Stray Kids, and then I got to meet her on the trip to New York back in December. And ever since then, she's been a sister to me, along with three others. They've been basically family for me. I gained three sisters and a brother that day, that weekend in New York. And I'm just really excited to be able to share Gen Con with Hani and also with Jenny, who's going to be coming from New York. They're moving to Indiana, so I get to show one of my sisters and my brother a gaming convention that I always gravitate back towards. And I've been to other conventions. I've been to Origins. I've been to Dragon Con, Heroes Con, PAX East. I've been to a good amount of conventions, but some reason I always get drawn back to Gen Con. And I get to share that this time with two family members that have never been to that kind of a convention before. So it's like going, "Hey, you want to play some games? Let's join 70,000 other family members. Let's go." And we're going to have some fun. And I'm really excited about being able to show people this convention. I get excited when I started doing the channel and being able to show it with all of you. But now I get to show it with two family members, and my wife Cindy's going to be joining in as well. They will be missing one day, but we'll go over that in a little bit. But Tuesday, picking up Hani, and then Jenny will be joining us on Thursday for the opening day of Gen Con. Wednesday, we're going to get to Indy. I'll be dropping off stuff at the consignment store. Hopefully that doesn't take long. Luckily, their new location at, I believe it's the Marriott Hotel right across from the convention center. You're able to drive in, unload, get your stuff scanned, and go back out. And that's fine with me. It's easy, simple, and plus I got a chance to look at it last year. The place is freaking huge. It's a lot bigger than the room that they had in the convention center for the past few years, but they needed to expand because they've grown so much, especially with the consignment store growing as much as it has. And then you have the auctions that go on, especially Tova and the charity auction every year, which I'll be attending. That's on my itinerary. It's gotten to that point to where they needed more room, and I'm glad they found it, and it's in a great location. It's not too far away from the convention center, and it's easy to get to. And I'll make sure to walk that path so you can see it when we go up there. All right, so let's go to Thursday. Before Thursday, Wednesday, the other thing I'm going to do, besides dropping off stuff at the consignment store, I will be walking the lay of the land with Cindy and Hani. There's some stuff that's changed from Gen Con a few years ago till now that Cindy might not be aware of, so I'm going to walk her through, and also Hani. The main reason why is because there are going to be times, and this is mostly because of COVID, but also in case it's overwhelming to be around so many people in one shot. I'm going to try to show them the different locations that they can go to get a breather, to just catch their breath, to relax a little bit before they go back out into the fray. Cindy's last convention experience was a few years ago during COVID. It was right when everybody was starting to go back, but we were wearing masks. We had to show our verification of the COVID vaccine, all that stuff. And this is her first time being at this kind of convention without all those parameters. So it's going to be a little bit interesting for her and also for Hani and Jenny because they've never done this kind of major thing post COVID that's been inside. So they are going to need places where they could just duck out, relax for a little bit, recharge, and then be ready to go. So we'll be doing that Wednesday. All right, so Thursday, we got tickets for 9 a.m., the opening ceremonies. We're going to get there early, try to get there, get in the front row, and be able to see all the different things that are going to be coming up throughout the convention. There may be a couple of games that get spoiled that we want to go check out. There'll also be some sort of an entertainment act. As of the time of this video, it has not been announced. So hopefully, maybe I'm going to predict maybe they got back Nerdy. I would love to see him back there. He reminds me of an old school wrestling personality just because of how he carries himself and how he's able to be so charismatic. He reminds me of Dusty Rhodes, baby. He reminds me of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, except he thinks a whole lot better. So hopefully they bring him back, and if they do, awesome. But whoever they get, hopefully they start off the event right with a high energy performance to get everybody's blood pumping before they go into the exhibit hall and try and chase down everything. All right, so 10 a.m., the exhibit hall opens up. We're going to go in there and go, like just see everything, the whole lay of the land. And then 12 noon, we have our first demo. So we're going to go into the One Piece card game demo. And this game's been out for a while, but the main reason why I wanted to do it is because our friend Hani loves One Piece. And I want to make sure the first experience that our fam gets is to demo a game that is based off of one of their favorite animes. And plus, I've seen the gameplay for One Piece. I love the game. I just don't have time to pick up another card game. I really don't. I wish I did. If I did pick up another card game regularly to where I can go to tournaments and everything, One Piece would definitely be on the top of that list because it looks like it's a whole lot of fun to play. And I get to sit down and play it, but I get to sit down and play it with family. And that is right there, right off the bat. I can't wait to do that. Then the rest of the day, just exploring, getting the lay of the land and everything. And then 10 p.m., I have Blood on the Clock Tower, which is a social deduction game that I've been dying to play for a good while. I've been seeing it played online, especially during COVID and all, with the group from No Rules Barred. And I would really, if I ever had a chance to play it with them, I would. But they had a lot of the events opened up this year for Blood on the Clock Tower, so I got in at one at 10 p.m. It was just me because Cindy and them, they'll be resting up because they have a busy day on Friday, but they have a little bit of a travel day. So, on Friday, Cindy, Hani, and Jenny had the opportunity that we did not know would happen. So just a short drive away into Chicago, Illinois is Lollapalooza. And one of the acts for the main day on Friday is Stray Kids. Now, this is the K-pop group I just mentioned a little bit ago that all of these new family members that we have, they came together through Stray Kids. For Stray Kids, their fan base are called Stay. And I'm proud to say that because I really like the group as well. But Cindy was able to find our fam through them, and now they get to go and watch them play at Lollapalooza. So that means Friday they're going to be doing that. They're going to be going to Chicago. They're going to be having some deep dish pizza. They're going to be doing a lot of different things and enjoying great music. And then the main event at 8 o'clock will be Stray Kids hitting the stage for an hour and a half. So I will be on my own on Friday. So that means one thing for me, and that means I'm playing Commander. I didn't get to play much Commander last year. Last year I had my Pippin and Mary deck that I took to Indy, and I got people assigned the cards that I ran into, and I'll be doing that again this year. If you see me at GenCon, and if you've seen these videos, feel free to talk to me. Feel free to ask me anything. I love to talk to people. But I do have a deck of cards. I'm going to get everybody to sign at least one of the cards in the deck. I got a few signatures last year, but there's still plenty of cards to sign, and I would love to get that sucker filled out best I could by the end of Indy this year. And plus, I want to play some Magic. I haven't really got a chance to play Magic last year at Gen Con because I was busy doing a bunch of other things. And this year, I'm going to be able to do it. So Friday is my Magic the Gathering, Bloomborough Extravaganza, Commander, all that stuff. So at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., I have the Bloomborough Mini Masters events. So basically, Mini Master, you get a booster pack and several lands. That's your deck. If you win, you get to add another pack to your deck, and you go on from there. It's 2 rounds. It was a free event, and it's the opening weekend for Bloomborough for Magic the Gathering, which if you're a fan of the Redwall series or any genre where it had like just it's basically a plane full of nothing but animals. There's no humans, but these animals stand upright. They have human tendencies and everything, but they're cute and adorable. It's gonna be fun. So I'll have that, and I'll be playing Commander games. Try to do some pickup games, maybe paid against some Commander pods as well. And then Friday, if I get chosen to help out, I'll be doing the AEG Big Game Night event in Lucas Oil Stadium in one of the luxury, like one of the cool luxury boxes that they have. I wanted to do a little bit of volunteering this year, and AEG had the opportunity for it. And it's one of those things where I get to volunteer from 6 p.m. to midnight. I get to teach games, I get to talk to great people, and they give you a copy of each of the games, plus you get a $50 voucher to go towards anything in the AEG booth. So, yeah, I'll volunteer 6 hours of my time to be able to get some free games and all, and meet some great people. I'm definitely going to be doing that. But that's my Friday. Mainly bunch of gaming for Magic the Gathering. Check out the exhibit hall, and then possibly go to AEG Big Game Night if I'm chosen to volunteer. Saturday, again, just a bunch of demos. I'm going to be trying to talk to companies to get some stuff going for the channel shortly after Gen Con and everything, and see what I can get going, because I've been able to get a lot of cool games to feature on here, and hopefully I can continue that trend into Gen Con and beyond, because there's just so much stuff that's been coming out with new trading card games, new board games with different aspects that you've never seen before, and hopefully I get to feature some of them here. But Saturday night, it's going to be all about Tova and the charity auction. Now, we have tickets for the Gen Con dance, just in case we want to go check that out before heading back to the hotel. But those two events, the Tova auction and the charity auction, are a tradition for me. I missed it last year because I was working True Dungeon. No regrets at all on that. But this year, I want to make sure we check it out, because Tova has always been so much fun, seeing the auctioneers just having a blast. It's like a free comedy show, except if you see something you want to buy, you can go ahead and get it. And then the charity auction is always for a great cause to help support local charities in Indy, and they raise like $20, $30, $40, $50,000 every year between the charity auction, between Card Holla, the balloon animal slaying of the ages and everything. And they just raise so much money for these great causes every year, and I'll include those in the description below on the video, that if I can do something, if I can just make a little purchase at the charity auction, that's doing my part. And I have a game, Sorcerer's Arena, Disney Sorcerer's Arena, I got a few years back from the charity auction, that will never leave my collection. I haven't played it in a while. I need to break it out and play it, because it's a really good game. But it's one of those things that I will not have leave my collection, because it has a lot of sentimental value to it. It's like, that's a game I purchased to help a charity out, and I really do like that that's a thing that you can do. And there's going to be all sorts of different artwork. A lot of vendors submit a lot of different games and everything, and artwork and books, and a lot of cool experiences as well to the charity auction to raise money for these great local groups and everything. So I'll definitely be taking part of that. And then maybe boogie woogie in a little bit in the Gen Con dance if we're not too tired. And then Sunday is one last walkthrough for the convention center. See if there's anything else we might want to pick up at the exhibit hall. and then load up in the car and then head to the Indiana State Fair. It's going to be happening the same weekend as GenCon, so we figured, you know what a better way to end GenCon weekend. After we close down the exhibit hall, we'll get in the car, go to the State Fair, have some State Fair food, check out all the stuff that's there, and close out the weekend with a blast. And I really like it that I was able to discover that the Indiana State Fair and Gen Con usually coincide with each other. And this is going to be a great time to check it out and to spend more time with fam before we part on Monday. But that's our itinerary. Like I said, it's a skeleton frame. There's plenty of room to add stuff in case I come across anything. But you know what? I'm happy with this. Like, this is something that I'm looking forward to doing. And I can't wait to get to Indy, see what else I can get into. But just having a little bit of a framework is a perfect way to start out. Now, speaking of a plan, let me go over the booths that I'll be checking out in the exhibit hall. So let's check it out. All right, so we have the itinerary. Now let's go over the booths that I'll be checking out at GenCon. Now, as far as new games go, I'm going to try and find as many as I can, get some information on them so I can feature them here on the channel, maybe either do a video while I'm there or get them to send me some promotional stuff to feature, or I'll just talk about it. Either way, I'll get as many new games as I can to feature here on the channel. But these are booths that I'm going to go to personally, either because I usually go to them every year because of something that's there, or it's something that might caught my eye. All right, so first one at 1345 is SRG Universe. Now, with SRG Universe, it's a wrestling card game that uses dice, and the roll of dice configures which kind of stat that you'll be using to apply to your move. And this card game is really unique because each card in your deck is labeled like in the corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to have a variety of moves you'll be able to do during a match, because it's always boring when you see a match and somebody goes arm drag, headlock, arm drag. You need to have differentiations between the moves. And so SRG Universe does that, and they have some unique characters. They also have wrestlers that you know and love throughout the years on there. And I can't wait to check this game out. I have some of the stuff here. I need to get it back on the channel. It was a blast playing against my wife and losing. And I want to show you all how bad I can roll dice. So I'll see if I can get that back into rotation once Gen Con's come and gone. But right now, I'm going to get there, see what's new, and see if I can pick up some new wrestlers and the new starter or two. And who knows, maybe I might break out my Dusty Rhodes impersonation. Because, baby, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, they're going to be coming to the SRG Universe, baby. I almost messed it up, but I recovered so nice, so funny, honey. And be like, fucking like a monkey, if you will. For those of you who are not wrestling fans and did not like my Dusty Rhodes impersonation, may have thought it was a little bit cringe, I do apologize. So let's move on. Okay, so the next booth is going to be at 1819 Tabletop Tycoon. Now, last year, their booth was massive, and it was a 50s style diner setup to where you got to order your bundle of games. You can get a small bundle, medium bundle, and oh my goodness, how am I going to get this back to the hotel bundle? Alert, I did that, and I didn't go with the bag that I could have got. I'm like, nah, I got this. It's just a bunch of games I got to carry all the way back to the hotel. I was stupid, and I didn't get the bag. So for those of you who go by Tabletop Tycoon, and they have that kind of setup, do yourself a favor. If you do not have a con bag, definitely get you one of the gaming bags. It wasn't that much, but you know what? I was a fool to think I can carry all those games and not be encumbered. I did a classic Fallout blunder. I took too much stuff for a longer range of walking than I anticipated to do. But hopefully they have something like that this year, because I got some really cool games out of it. And I would love to be able to do that. And plus, they had some of the proceeds, I do believe, that went to charity. So it was another case of me being able to help out a charity for that. So if chances are you might have seen a picture on here. I did film it last year. If you want to check out Gen Con's videos last year, the thing was massive. I got a bunch of cool games from it. And I can't wait to see what they do this year. All right, next up, I'm going to be in the hunt for some mutants. More specifically, the X-Men. By the time Gen Con rolls around, the Dice Throne X-Men edition should be out. I wasn't able to get the Kickstarter. I wish I could have to get Dice Throne X-Men and X-Men Missions. So if it's there at Gen Con, I'm going to look for it. So I need to either go to 3031 for Dice Throne, 2663 for Roxley Games, or to booth 135, the Op. One of those should potentially have X-Men Dice Throne, and if they do, that is going to be the one big thing I want to try to make sure I get so I can add to the collection and have more reasons why Cindy is going to roll ultimates, and I will never see an ultimate in my life in that game. Yeah. All right, next one, Gamelin Games at 2745. I want to check out a bunch of new Tiny Epic stuff they got going on. They just had Tiny Epic Cthulhu, Tiny Epic Game of Thrones, there's Tiny Epic Crimes, and I've never really had the chance to check out any of those. So I would love to see what the big thing about it is. Like, this small game box has a giant experience inside, and I would love to see how they're able to do it, and just check out all the games, how they differentiate between each other, and just have a blast doing that. Because as always, big things do arrive in small packages, and that's definitely one of those for a lot of gamers. Next up, I'm going to be trying to go to Beatles and Grimm and Norse Foundry. Beatles and Grimm is at 29. Looks like 2942 or 294. I'll put the actual number below because you know what? I write like my mom, and she was a pharmacy tech, so that explains the reason why I can't write. But Norse Foundry is at 2705, and I'm going to be going there to check out the dice and check out some RPG supplies. My wife Cindy was able to get a journal a couple years ago from Beatles and Grimm, and Norse Foundry always offers some amazing selection of dice, so I'll be checking them out this year and see what dice I can get. Finally, I'll be heading to the Gamer Playmats booth to get the GenCon 2024 playmat at 1629. So I will be doing that, and hopefully Cindy won't see me buy a playmat because I do have too many in the collection, but you know what? You can never have too many mouse pads. But that's what I got going on. And Gen Con is just a few short weeks away. And it's funny how it's almost here. So I have my itinerary. I have my booths I'll be checking out. I'll be exploring Indy like I always do. I'll be relishing every moment that I get to share this experience with my fam and everything, and being able to be there with my wife once again. And but there is one thing that's going to be missing this year, and that is every year for Gen Con or whenever I go to conventions, I always call my parents. I always call them and let them know that, hey, we're doing fine, everything is good. And I always love telling the stories to my mom and dad about what I did that day and what I was able to see and everything. And I know I won't be able to get that this year, which is going to be very weird because my mom and dad had two separate humors. My dad was more... I tell my mom a joke, she gives a polite chuckle. I tell my dad a joke, he gets a gut laugh out of it. And telling my dad all these different stories and everything from Gen Con over the years, it always brightened his day. And at the same time, he's like, how'd you get wrapped up in all this stuff? And I was like, well, Dad, I like this kind of stuff. Like, it's something that I get to go. And I always told him that it was like basically going to meet up with 60 to 70,000 family members you only get to see once a year and share a passion for a love of gaming and RPGs and pop culture and everything. You get to enjoy that for 4 days. And I would always tell my dad that. And he always would just say, son, I'm glad you found something you love. I'm glad you're being able to be around people that you enjoy seeing. And I know this year that he's going to be able to have a front row seat at this whole craziness that Gen Con is. And he'll be able to see everything that I've been able to tell him over the years. So that's the one thing that's going to be missing this year. And I just know that he'll be watching over and he will be going like, dang, that's a lot of people. I see the reason why you go there, son. And I get to share all of it with all of you. and I get to share this experience with fam, and that's what I'm looking forward to this year. And hopefully when the videos come out, you check them out, hopefully find some stuff that you like. And if you're going to Gen Con, let me know what you're excited about in the comments below. I would love to know. Because there's some things that I might miss that's might not be on my radar, and I would love for you to go like, hey, I'm checking out this booth, or hey, I work for this booth, come by and say hi. And I will. I'll be more than happy to, because I'm always like, I always want to meet new people, I always want to talk to new people. And just that's one of the big things about Gen Con every year, is just to get to know people and be able to make friendships, create memories, and share a passion for something that you love with a whole lot of members of family that you only get to see for a short time each year, but you have a blast doing it. But thank you so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let everybody know that House Hedge Gaming is here for all of your gaming needs, as the countdown is almost coming to a close to Gen Con 2024. So until next time, everyone, stay safe and take care, my friends.